morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. This is series 2 already, episode 3 of the Tuesday Talk Show with me, your host, Yvonne Gorman from Essential Print Services. And today I have got not only a fantastic safety superwoman, Suzanne from Kedleston Safety, but also Suzanne is my office buddy. Hello, good morning, Suzanne.
Hello, good morning.
Hello. You are coming to us live from where this morning?
I am live from our lovely office on Pride Park.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Someone's using it, which is amazing.
When I'm not presenting,
when I'm not presenting the Tuesday Talk Show, I run a small business called Essential Print Services based on Pride Park, where Suzanne is right now, but at the minute we're working remotely. But enough about me, over to our special guest. Just remind people who are watching this live and on catch-up, it is live, anything can happen. The doorbells may ring, dogs may bark, who knows, anything can happen, so please do bear with us. Over to you, Suzanne, straight in there, because these things absolutely fly by. Please tell the audience who you are and what your business is all about.
Okay, slightly like blind date. What's your name and where do you come from? Okay, so my name is Suzanne and I run Kedleston Safety. We're a health and safety consultancy and we're based on Pride Park. We share an office with the lovely Yvonne and lots of our other office buddies. We have lots of different strings to our bow. So one, we're an outsourced health and safety provider. So we look after businesses that maybe don't have a health and safety person full-time within their business. So we support them. We might also go in and support a health and safety team that's existing. And give them extra guidance to do. And we're also a training provider. So we provide all sorts of health and safety training, first aid, general health and safety training, risk assessments. We do health and safety mentoring and we run health and safety risk assessment workshops. So lots and lots of different services to suit any business.
Loads of stuff going on. And for those of you watching live on catch up, please do send in your comments and questions for myself and Suzanne. Would absolutely love to hear from you and to give you a shout out. So yeah, if you're watching this, please do give us a like as well. That would be amazing. Right, over to the questions straight in there. Suzanne, how have you used the time during lockdown?
Lockdown has been a very, very busy time for me and for my family. So I've got 3 small children that I need to do home learning with. So it's been a case of trying to manage the time so they can access education and do all the learning that they need to do, but also that I can carry on providing a service for my clients and carry on promoting the business. So it's been a bit like a military operation. It has been checklists. It has been organisation. My dining room has turned into an office and a classroom. But you know what? We survived. We're on lockdown 3 and we are surviving. And we're all alive.
Excellent, which is the main thing. Do you have any top tips for people in a similar situation to yourself? I don't have children, so I've not had to have that factor during lockdown. And some days I can barely look after myself, let alone a whole clan of small humans. So do you have any top tips, any sort of insights that you could maybe share with the viewers?
I think planning and preparation is the key. And I think that's whether you're doing controlling lockdown and what's happening or within your business. As long as you know what's happening the next day and you've planned and you've got all your resources in place, you've got some sort of timetable. It doesn't always happen that we stick to it, but as long as everybody knows what's expected of them and what we need to achieve for that day, then it can run quite smoothly. And it's about getting out into the fresh air as well, making sure that you do have, those breaks, going to play in the garden or taking the dog for a walk. So we're really lucky where we live. We a stone's throw from Kedleston Hall. So that seems to be where, we can, from our house, we can just walk round to the back of it and have a good walk round and, get some fresh air.
Fantastic. I mean, some of the viewers that are watching this will already know that during lockdown in September time, my husband and I adopted a rescue dog called Ty, and he's been an absolute godsend because he forces me to get away from my desk throughout the day. Otherwise, I would literally be guilty of staying there all day, finding things to do. Got a shout out coming through this morning. It's Simon from Jet Photography. Good morning, Simon. Google is always good for homeschooling.
And Alexa.
And Alexa. All the smart devices are available. Right, straight into the next question, because like I said, these things absolutely fly by. Suzanne, what is the hardest thing about owning a small business?
So I would say the responsibility, because it's not just a job. It's your business, and it's your baby, and your business is just not about the service that you're providing. It's about everything else. So have you got the right marketing? Have you got the right sales? Have you got the right equipment, IT equipment, to be able to do the job? Do you know how to do accounts? Are you doing your admin? Are you doing business development? So it's almost like you have to wear lots and lots of different hats. Now, I know that I can do the health and safety, and I know I can do that well. And I probably could have a good go at doing all the other things, but not, it's not what I'm trained to do. So I think the hardest thing for me is about letting go and about letting other people in to help.
Absolutely.
Because when it's your business, you it's almost like you're very critical about what happens and you want to control it yourself. But I think for me, the hardest bit was, getting somebody in to do the accounts, somebody to help me with marketing. My husband's an IT contractor. It's, he could provide all the IT and equipment that we needed to do, because we deliver training online, we deliver our services online. So we need to make sure that the setup's correct. And it's about, for me, it was about letting other people in to help me. And that's something which has taken, a lot of time to do.
Totally understand where you're coming from there, Suzanne, especially in the early days for me. I wanted everything just so. I wanted everything to be absolutely perfect, to the point where some things weren't getting done because I wanted them to be just right. And over the years, I've learned that it doesn't have to always be perfect to move forward. And also, it's so difficult to let people into sort of the inside of your business as well, especially when you're quite a private person, or you actually control things, which isn't a bad thing. But I think the moral story there that you've mentioned is you don't have to be an expert in all those different departments, and to use the network around you to fill those gaps, definitely.
And I think Derby has got a brilliant network of other small businesses that are, on hand to help. You can just phone up and, ask for advice from people. It's, it's great. And I think we're really lucky.
So are there any other pitfalls about running a small business?
I suppose the risk, and I do risk every day, health and safety. We talk about risk every day, but it's a different risk, isn't it? I've invested my time, we've invested money. We're not earning the wage we were from, when I was employed by, another business. You haven't got that regular income. It's like you are completely responsible for making sure that business comes in and money comes in, so you can, pay all your services that you're using. But also, I have two great people that do work for me, and it's about making sure that they get paid as well.
Absolutely. I think the biggest burden for running a business was to make sure that everyone else got paid before me. That was my main priority, because to look after their mortgages and their families before my own, that was a huge burden. What are the advantages then? I mean, we talk about some negative things there, which we don't mean to, but if someone's listening to this and they're thinking about maybe creating a side hustle or taking that leap of faith and starting a new business, what are the advantages of being your own boss?
You are your own boss. You can make the decisions. You can decide, who you want to work with, which area, which service you want to give to people. You decide what customers you want to use. If I'm using anybody, so printing services, accounts. So, I can decide who I want to work with. I'm not just told you will use that service. I can shop around and work with people that are in the same mindset as me and have got the same sort of outlook. I think it's really good for independence. So, for example, during lockdown, I've been really lucky, even though I've worked all the way through lockdown, I've been really lucky that I can be quite flexible in when I do the work and when I sort of homeschool the children. And I think it makes you more adaptable. And, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't have it any other way now.
Oh, that's interesting, because I think once you become your own boss, for me, I think I'd be unemployable because I'd always be going, why are you doing it like this? You should be doing it like that. And I'm sure I'd become very annoying very quickly. Suzanne, what if you could change anything about your business or business in general, even your industry, what would it be and why?
I suppose the current market and the current situation is very difficult at the moment. If I could change, I would completely just get rid of COVID, just pretend it didn't exist, because it's had an impact on every single person and every single business, not just in the UK, but, worldwide as well. And it's had an absolutely massive impact on small businesses. And I suppose it's brought about more uncertainty from, where your customers are going to come from. Are you going to get more clients in? Where's the work coming from? So I think if I could change anything, I'd probably just pretend that COVID never existed and we could carry on as normal.
Very
other things in the business, if I could change my business, maybe explore other avenues, diversify in a different way, maybe change some of the services that we offer. I suppose being a business owner, it's an ever evolving cycle that we live in, and we work out what's working well, maybe what's not working as well, and we have got the ability to adapt and to diversify and to change.
Fantastic. We have got another shout out that's come in this morning. It's Fiona. Good morning, Fiona. Definitely agree. I wish I'd done self-employment sooner, and agree regarding getting help. Absolutely, Fiona. And again, anyone watching this on live or on catch up, please do send in your questions and comments. We'd love to hear from you. And give us a high five, give us a like. That would be absolutely amazing. Right. This next question is one that I took from the Zoe Ball show a few weeks ago when she was interviewing someone I thought, oh, that's a really good one for the Tuesday talk show. And it's, what is the best piece of advice someone has ever given you, and how did it affect your life? Ooh, big question.
Okay, so I would say that the biggest piece of advice that somebody's ever given me, and this was given to me by a lovely HR lady, so Sarah Lotes from Lotes HR. So when I first started business, and I was trying to sort of work out different things to do, she went, Suzanne, you must know your value and you must know your worth. If everybody could do the health and safety job, they would. So they wouldn't need any health and safety services. So by your experience, your training, the competency that you have, you are of value to other businesses, and you need to know that.
Great advice. And big shout out to Sarah Lotes from Lotes HR and the team there as well, who have also been extremely busy throughout lockdown, I'm sure. Absolutely. No, really good advice there. Again, sticking on the advice theme, Suzanne, if someone is thinking about starting their own business or side hustle, when do they know that they're ready to take that leap of faith?
I don't know if people really know that they are ready. I think sometimes people might decide that they want to change. Some people might plan for a long time to do it. Other people might do it quite quickly. So when I decided I wanted to be my own boss, it was quite a quick process. I decided that the work I was doing at that particular time didn't really fit in with you know, my family, I was doing a lot of traveling. You know, I was going up and down the country doing lots of different work, and it just didn't fit in. And it was almost like over the Christmas holiday period, I was like, okay, enough's enough now. I'm going to do it myself. And I think over a 2-week period, we'd decided how we were going to do it. We'd bought the domain name. We'd got the sort of Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn handles. So they were all there. So all the background work was done. And then in the new year, we were just ready to go.
I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that side about you, that you're so quick. Gosh.
Yeah, it was quite, I mean, I suppose it might have been bubbling in the background for quite a while, but I think over a Christmas period, it gives you a little bit of time to reflect and think. And I was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. It's a massive jump. It's like, am I doing the right thing? Because you're coming away from being an employee to being, okay, who's going to pay me? I need to go out and I need to sort of bring in some money. But, you know, I was really lucky. I've got a really supportive husband and really supportive family, and was able to do that.
Was you able to structure your day? Was there times where you had to use discipline to make sure you kept on track with running your own business in the early days, from going from employed to working for yourself?
Yeah, so obviously I didn't, you know, I was working at home off the dining room table. I would say always get dressed as you are going to work. You know, don't be sitting in your pajamas, but, you know, quite frankly, I couldn't do that anyway because I was still doing the school run, and I think it would have been frowned upon to turn up to the school gates wearing some sort of onesie. I think social services might have been called, but it's about having that structure, and again having the plan like we talked about over lockdown. So decide exactly what you need to achieve that week, you know, set yourself some goals and some targets, and you know, make sure that you stick to them. So I knew early on that it would take a while to build up the consultancy side. You know, there were loads of health and safety consultancies in Derby. There's some small independent ones, and there's some really sort of big, well-known ones as well. So I knew that was always going to take the time to build. But I also knew that I can deliver training. You know, I've done that for a long time. I've got the qualifications to be able to teach. So I knew that I could do that. So I contacted a lot of training providers within the Derby area, and just messaged them and said, hi, you know, I'm Suzanne. I can teach NEBOSH, I can teach IOSH courses. These are my references. If you need a freelance trainer, then, you know, please consider me. And actually, I got 4 responses back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I went to meet with them. And, you know, I started to deliver training for them. And today I still deliver training for 2 of those providers.
Amazing.
So initially it was about building up the relationships with people. You know, this is what I can do. And so I knew I had that income, you know, coming in, so I could focus on building the other side of the business.
That's fantastic, and really brave as well, especially if you're not from a marketing sales background, to have to then, you know, thrust yourself out there and say, hi everyone, I'm here, can you come and work with me please? It takes a lot of bravery, doesn't it, for people?
Definitely it does. And, you know, going to network groups as well. Oh my goodness, the first ever network group I thought I was going to be sick.
Oh no.
It was awful. It was just the thought of going into a room of people that I didn't know, and to sort of, this is me, this is what I do. But actually it wasn't so bad. And after 1 or 2, you know, you get to know that everybody's in the same boat.
Yes.
Everybody's a small business owner. Everybody feels the same. You just learn to put your armour on, and, you know, and make that first move. But actually then, you know, you make loads of friends in business. As I said before, Derby is a really good, you know, business community. And I've made loads of business buddies. Yeah, it's been really good.
Good. And if anyone's watching this who hasn't been to a networking event before and is feeling a bit petrified after, you know, post-COVID, prospect of having to go out there and drum up new business, then please do reach out to myself and Suzanne. We will chaperone you to these events. We have no problem whatsoever helping you out. Don't go through that petrifying moment that we did. I went to my very first networking event in my early 20s, and the room was mainly people much older than me, much more experienced. I remember going round and it getting to me on my turn for my commercial. I stood up and my knees were shaking. I couldn't speak. I went completely red. I had to sit down and say, oh, sorry, no, next person, please. And now I feel much more confident about it, but I still get those little bits of butterfly. It comes round to my turn. I think, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? But yeah, please do reach out to us if you need a chaperone. That's not a problem at all. Suzanne, what is the most worthwhile investment you've ever made?
Oh, so again, this was the very first month in business. So I decided that I wanted the Kedleston Safety brand to be something that carried us through the whole business. And I didn't want like a temporary interim measure. I didn't want to draw my own logo. So I used some of our savings and I invested in some branding, so the Kedleston Safety logo and colours. So I think that was the best investment I've made to date, because it's still 4 years on. It's the logo that people see, and it doesn't always have to have the Kedleston Safety on. You can just use the K and people know who it is. I think strong branding is important.
I'm glad you've said that, especially in front of me, being a graphic designer. And just for the audience's reference, I didn't design Suzanne's logo, but it still looks so fresh, doesn't it, to this day? And again, I completely agree. If you're wanting to own a big business, then act like a big business and really invest in a decent brand. That doesn't have to cost the earth either. We've got a comment coming in again from Simon from Jack Photography, but before I go over to Simon, if you are watching this, we can't see who's watching, so please do comment and send in your questions so we can see who you are. We'd love to hear.
Yeah, I think Yvonne has disappeared.
I am back.
Sure. Oh, she's back.
What happened to me?
Well, I thought
some weird vortex. That's never happened
when we said nerves, I was like, oh my goodness.
So Suzanne, over to you. The show's all yours.
The health and safety show. I don't know how we're going to have to start thinking of some health and safety facts.
That's never happened before. How exciting. Well, just throwing in the deep end there, Suzanne. Now you're a talk show host. Amazing. We're so versatile as small business owners. What I was doing is coming over to Simon at Jack Photography. Let's see if it works. Hold on. Let's press the show. Yeah, there we go. If you are starting your own business, don't forget the power of being, don't forget the power of being yourself. Absolutely right, Simon. People always buy from people, not salespeople. Then they buy into you. Well said. Simon's like a plethora of knowledge and advice. Maria Hanson MD is on the call this morning as well. Lastminute.com, good morning. I have to catch up the last few minutes. Good morning, good to see you as well, Maria. Time is flying by, so we're going to go to the next question. And one I'm looking forward to, it's about books. I love to learn. I love to learn, I love to sponge all the information to my brain. So Suzanne, what book has influenced you the most?
So I have brought a few books with me because I thought...
You've got them with you? Amazing.
I've watched all of these before, and you always talk about books. So I thought, I'm going to be prepared. So I brought 2 books. Now, the first one is one of my favourites. Surrounded by...
Hold on a minute, Suzanne. Hold a minute. Wait a minute. You share an office
about my office buddies.
You share an office with us. What are you saying?
So this book is a great book. It's all about personality types and how the different personality types, work and operate. And it's about how you can talk to them, knowing, what sort of personality and what they do. Now, I always thought that I was, like a blue or yellow or green person. So somebody who was quite analytical, somebody who was quite social, quite laid back. I read this book and I was wrong. No, I've got quite a lot of red traits. Yeah, so dominant and sort of competitive, demanding and strong-willed. It almost
would your husband agree with that, Suzanne?
Probably, but I was saying the demanding and strong-willed also describes my youngest daughter. So maybe she's picked it up from me.
Yeah, where did she get that from?
But I think red, it does describe a lot of business owners, because you need to be competitive, you need to be demanding, and you need to be quite strong-willed to be a business owner. But yeah, that's a really good book. And you know, when I choose books, I always go for covers. I love how covers look, and it's really appealed to me. But you do get some strange looks if you're reading it in public. Another one, Eat That Frog for Breakfast.
Yes, classic.
It's a really good book. And it took me a long time to actually be able to eat that frog for breakfast. So it's about doing that task that you're putting off, and that task that you don't want to do. It's about doing that first. And it takes a lot of practice. You know, if I've had to like send, you know, an email to somebody or try to contact somebody because they've, you know, not been wanting to pay their bill, or, you know, something which can be quite tricky as a business owner. If it's on your to-do list and you're wanting to do all the nice things first, it can be quite stressful. But this book tells you, if you do it straight away, then actually the sense of relief that comes over you, it makes your whole working day a lot better. And it is actually true.
Absolutely. I mean, I haven't read that particular book, but I do practice that. I've heard lots of people talk about it. I do practice it. And once you do it, it just makes the whole day feel much freer. Your mind is much more open to think about everything else that's on your to-do list as well. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mentioned earlier that, might not have mentioned earlier, but some of these questions have come from a book that I read called The Tribe of Mentors by Tim Ferriss. It is a massive, chunky book. But it's dead easy one. It's full of lots and lots of different interviews from famous people. Some of these questions have come from this book. So thank you very much, Tim Ferriss, for the inspiration there. One book that really did change my outlook on business is this one, Will It Make the Boat Go Faster? By Ben Hunt Davis. It's about the Olympic rowing team and how small changes can make such a difference. And that was really I'd say a life-changing book, in fact. The one I'm currently reading is one recommended by a previous guest on the Tuesday talk show, Chloe Maudsley from the Derby Institute of Sport, and that's called The Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. And if you want any of these books and you're listening, and I'll put the links, the ones that Suzanne's mentioned as well, in the comments. And any of these books you can buy from a local bookstore that I've teamed up with called Ashby Della Books. You speak to Kate and tell her that we've sent you. She can sort you out with any of these books and support a local business as well, which is fantastic. So yeah, thanks so much for sharing your books. I love that you brought them with you as well. It's like a little virtual book club. I love it.
I think we should have a book club.
Yeah, absolutely.
Business club, yeah.
Lovely stuff. Just looking at time, we've only got a couple of minutes left, and I really want to ask you this next question, and that is, what have you become better at saying no to?
Nothing. I'm absolutely rubbish at saying no to things.
Oh, no.
In fact, I bought this book to try and help me. Yeah. So
working well then.
Yeah. Being serious, I think initially when I first started the business, I was tempted into a lot of things like, you know, expos, come to this big construction expo, which costs a lot of money. And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds good. But now I know that doesn't work for my particular business. It works for some businesses, maybe businesses that are selling products, but it doesn't work for me. So I've been better at saying no to that sort of thing. But saying no is something that I need to get better at.
Have you started that book, did you say?
No, it's been on my bookshelf for about a year.
Oh,
Yeah. It was with all good intentions that I was going to read it, but yeah.
we'll move swiftly on.
Yeah, that's
This
something
next
else.
question, Suzanne, it's a bit of a personal one. Feel free to skip it if you feel they don't really want to answer it. I know that, like you mentioned earlier, COVID has hit so many small business owners hard, really hard. No one had this on their business plans. I don't care who you are. And a lot of people, I've spoken to hundreds of business people throughout the last sort of 10, 11 months. And, some of them have felt like quitting. I know I've felt like quitting at times as well. Have you experienced anything like that, especially during COVID? Have you felt there are times when you're thinking, do you know what am I doing this for? And if you have, more importantly, how did you overcome that? What made you sort of snap out of it?
I think yes, definitely. I think COVID's had a massive impact on every single business. I've been quite lucky because I've been able to provide some services to clients, but I think it's been about the uncertainty. The first lockdown, we did a little bit of work initially, and then everything stopped because people didn't know what was happening. They didn't know what was happening with their business, and it would open back up again. So that was quite tough, and there was probably some points where I was like, actually, I'm just going to go and get a real job now. I don't want to play at being this business owner anymore. It's really, really hard. But then, I think everybody has days like that, don't they? And you've just got to, go out in the fresh air, stand back, reassess, and then go, actually, you went into business for these reasons. You're just having an off day. And I think, every single business owner has an off day. But it's just about taking stock, I think, and, making sure that you have some space and, have some good space for mental health, and, carry on.
Absolutely.
And all that.
Definitely. I mean, you mentioned earlier about going for walks. I mean, how they're just so important at the minute to take time out, however busy you may be and may feel. If you're feeling overwhelmed and you're thinking, do you know what, sod this, I'm not doing this anymore, rather than quit, just take a break. And it's amazing. After you just take 15 minutes, half an hour, when you come back to it, it just looks so different. It feels so different. Yeah. So don't quit. Just have a break. Just be easy, be kind to yourself. Definitely.
Yeah. Just go and sit in the garden, or go for a little walk. Just away from whatever it is. Yeah. And I would say just do it on your own as well. Just have some time for you. You see, I like reading. I'll take myself upstairs, or in the summer, I take myself in the garden and, just read a book. It doesn't have to be a business book. It can be anything. It can be, Derbyshire Life magazine, or, a newspaper. It can be anything, but it's just taking you away from what's going on. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. We have come up to the half an hour mark, and like always, absolutely flown by. If you're watching this live or on catch up, please do give us a like, give us a high five. Please do still send in your comments and questions, and we'll promise to get back to you. Suzanne, if anyone wants to get in touch with you, where can they find you? A number of places. So we've got our website at kedlestonsafety.co.uk. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter at Kedleston Safety. We're also on Instagram, and we're on LinkedIn. Amazing. Excellent. And once everybody's free and can come and visit everybody again, we are on Pride Park. Yay! I can't wait to have an office party. That's going to be amazing. Yes, definitely. So I'm going to wrap up now, Suzanne, but whilst I do, have a think about your final thoughts. So something that you want people to have a bit of a takeaway from today's talk show. Maybe it's something that we spoke about during the session, or something, just a message really. So while you have a think about your final thought, I'd like everyone to know that, please tune in next Tuesday at 10 o'clock. We're here every week. We've got people lined up throughout the first part of the year, including April. But if you're sitting here
and you're listening to this or watching this and thinking, Yvonne's not giving me the call yet, I really would like to be on this, please don't be shy. Please get in touch with me and I'll get you scheduled in, because I want to hear from as many small business owners, particularly in Derby, as possible, really. I want to get everyone's voices and messages out there as much as possible. So back over to our guest, the lovely Suzanne Dixon from Kedleston Safety, live on Pride Park in Derby. What is your final thought?
My final thought is, if you want to set out on your own for, create a new business, then go for it. There is so much support in Derby. You will never, ever be on your own.
That's amazing. That is really, really amazing. Thank you so much, Suzanne. Just go for it. A great message for Tuesday Talk Show. And thank you so much for your time. I know you're a really busy lady. Thank you so much for your insight. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you this morning. And we'll end the broadcast there. Thank you, everyone, for listening and who's tuned in and sent in their questions. And we'll speak to you soon. See you later. Bye.
Bye.